The Maritime Security Providers Association of Nigeria, MASPAN, and the alumni of Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron AMANO, is organizing a summit on drug smuggling and human trafficking. The chairman AMANO MASPAN Planning Committee, Mr. Emmanuel Megua, made the statement at a press conference which was held at the Secretariat of Maritime Reporters Association of Nigeria, MARAN, during the weekend.
Happy. Press statement released on the 16th of August 2024 on drugs and human smuggling stroke trafficking and involving maritime security threats to ships and seafarers. Concerned with the rising incidence of large quantities of drugs found on ships arriving Nigerian ports, mainly from South America, and the sustained cases of stowaways found on ships departing Nigerian ports, have an impact on our blue economy. Ships have been detained for several months, while their crew were placed on trial and forced to remain without seeing their families for several years in cases of drug smuggling. On the part of human trafficking, cases of stowaway, especially in Lagos ports, have continued to cause delays to vessels when they are found before departure. Cases where discoveries were not made before departure have continued to burden ship owners because of the very complex administrative protocols involved in handling stowaways whenever they are found on ships. The Maritime Security Providers Association of Nigeria, MASPAN, and the alumni of Maritime Academy of Nigeria, Oron AMANO, have considered the disruption these activities can pose to shipping operations, increased costs and trauma it could have on seafarers, and how counterproductive it could be to a maritime country like Nigeria that is struggling to realize the potential of our blue economy. Have come together to bring stakeholders to discuss these issues with a goal to arrive at a solution that serves the industry. The goal is to align with critical agencies in making sure that drugs and human smuggling stroke trafficking in the maritime domain are reduced, if not eradicated. Perpetrators are penalized in a way innocent parties are not made to pay the price, and the industry is not deprived of its growth potential. Some of these areas we want to focus on to find answers, and the way forward will be the existing legal frameworks and how they are operationalized, especially in the maritime domain. We will want to look at the cooperation among agencies in the interest of both agencies and the industry. One key area to look at would be the capacity of the responsible agencies to measure whether they have been adequately equipped with the training and resources needed to carry out these functions in the maritime space. At the end of the conference, we hope that stakeholders will arrive at a workable solution and mandate a working group to ensure the actualization of the resolutions reached. The event will be chaired by the Honorable Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Boyega Oyetola, who has been mandated to chart the course for the new ministry by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We have equally secured the support of key agency responsible for narcotics in Nigeria, which is the National Drug and Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, which has committed to fully participate in and sitting on the panel of discussion. The embassies of the United States and France, The international and local shipping companies have also shown keen interest and are set to attend the event.
The event will be chaired by the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, His Excellency Boyega Oyetola, CON, and is scheduled to hold on Thursday, August 22nd, 2014 at Eco Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos by 10 a.m.
Most of the truck drivers are left to wait at the port for days. They don't have a place to go and ease themselves, no place to shower. And as a result, at night, they find people selling all kinds of things to keep them alive and awake, which could lead to use of drugs. It exposes them. So this, yes, I agree with you, is an effort that it is not just those that are charged with regulating road usage, like FIRC, the police traffic department, and the MPA. It's a solution that we have to look at holistically, and organizations will have to be responsible. I think gone are the days where an individual will be encouraged to buy a truck and then proceed to carry container in ports as business. If you instill this as a business under the proper structure, then the branding comes into play, and a lot of organizations will be forced to put in standards because their image is at stake. And this is one area we can get the society to support this. If we leave this business into the hands of individuals to operate, it becomes very difficult for standards to be implemented. And I want to believe that, if you will agree with me, most of the corporate organizations, those that are, especially those that will be listed in the stock exchange, will have high standards to operate on. They will, especially when it comes to discipline, how they train their drivers, how their drivers behave as a corporate entity. Perhaps those are areas that the Nigerian Port Authority will begin to look into, or I will say the industry entirely will begin to look into, to promote corporate participation in the business and encourage individuals who are interested in that business to organize themselves into a structure that will act responsibly. So this is not something that we can do, but we are creating this conference to give a platform for such kind of discussion. But that is attacking the usage of drugs. This is not attacking the transportation of drugs. West Africa is not only trafficking drugs that we consume. Most of the drugs that come in through West Africa are actually transiting to Europe and mainly Asia. So if we can, even if we fix this usage, it doesn't take away the problem that our shipping route is going to be used to transport drugs. So it is one thing to address the usage and completely a different thing to address the transit of these drugs through our ports, which is one of the areas we are concerned about.
Megwa posited that organizing the event became pertinent, having considered the disruption drug smuggling and human trafficking activities can pose to shipping operations via increased costs and the traumatic experience on seafarers.
When you want to know who is stealing in your office, you can't know after the theft had occurred. You must have thought of the possibility of someone stealing. Then you put system in a place where if it is something is stolen, you will be able to go back and investigate. Now the question is, what are those instruments that are put in place in other ports all over the world? Have we replicated them in Nigeria? If we don't, even though other ports have put it, and there will be clear sight of how to investigate and determine whether the crew are involved. If we don't put them in place, then we will end up just because we don't know how to find out which crew is complicit and which one is not. We just randomly punish everybody. And that kind of environment becomes very scary for seafarers. They will begin to tell you, oh, if we are going to Nigeria, I don't want to go because I know that this particular route we are loading is the origin of drugs to Nigeria. If Agasi carry drugs, I will be punished because of the way Nigeria handle cases of drugs. So I don't want to go to Nigeria. So it's a very big organized crime. So yes, there are people involved. Secondly, for the ones that are going into the rudder, if you sit on the rudder, if you go to the rudder in this night, in the morning, everybody will see you. How do you know that you can go into the rudder and hide? Somebody must have told you. Now, when I say everybody will see you in the morning, when boats are passing, they will see people in the rudder. That means someone who knows that the ship is leaving before morning, that the ship rudder is going to be exposed today, and the chief officer will start taking ballast water at so time, will have to organize you, including the time for you to get into the rudder. So I don't think a stowaway case on a vessel is a thing that they are just victims. There is a very big organized group that is collecting money, promising them that the vessel, so sometimes they don't even, you may not, the peddlers may not know where the vessel is going. In crime, there is also crime. I just want to take your money, I tell you this vessel is going to Italy, but I have no idea where the vessel, I just want to put you there and let the vessel go out successfully. I've collected your money. Whatever happens, I'm not interested.
The goals is to align with critical agencies in making sure that drug and human smuggling and trafficking in the maritime domain are reduced, if not eradicated, perpetrators are penalized in a way innocent parties are not made to pay the price, and the industry is not deprived of its growth potentials. Broland A. Kama, reporting for Seabed.